Hey, how are you? I'm doing great, thanks. So, I've done two tutorials now. But of course, since I can't make like a 7 hour long, not that's an exaggeration. Since I can't make a 2 hour long video, to explain how to do every little specific part of, that drawing, I had to just kind of show you how to do the painting part. That was really what the face tutorial was on, was the painting. But now, I'm going to do a separate tutorial for each part of your face, So, in this one, I'm gonna do eyeballs, which is what people really start out with most of the time, is the eyeballs. Okay. Start with, it's red. Kind of red. This is red. This is kind of red. I would put on my face cam to show you exactly what I'm talking about, but that's not what I'm gonna do, because I have not showered in a while. Anyway, for eyeballs, there are, for any feature, there's like a bazillion different ways to do things. For this, I'm gonna kind of go off what I'm most familiar with, which is my eye. And we'll move on to different kinds in a minute. Be patient. Okay. Now let's start with the top lid, which is this kind of little swoof outward and this swoof upward. And this is where the corner of the eye is going to be. So like there's the side of the nose. And that doesn't look good. And you know what? Changing it later after you draw something is fine. I accidentally made that tilted down a little bit too much. And then outward from here. Okay. So my eye, it kind of is a little bit more flat on the top and a little bit more rounded on the bottom. That's not how everybody's eyes is. In fact, some people's eyes is the exact opposite. It's like that. It makes you look very happy. Yay. Wow, that looks horrifying. But this is where what is that called? What is that? What is this thing? I don't know. I don't know what it's called. If your eye is really wide open, then you're gonna be able to see the top waterline of your eye. I think the thing that anime does about eyes is, one, it conditions you to draw them huge as hell, which I'm still guilty of doing that. I do that. I make the eyes on my drawings a lot bigger than they should be, and I honestly don't know how to make them small enough to be realistic, but that's just part of my style now. But it also makes people forget about water lines on the eyes, which are these little tiny, tiny little shelves that are on your eyes. And I add a larger line here because I wear a lot of eyeliner, and even if not, it's kind of stylistic and neat. And then this is the part where I think there's the most diversity in people's eyes, is the eyelid. I usually put it's closest to the eye, about right here, maybe even in the middle, and then it kind of flares out near the ends. And then the iris. Realistically, it's supposed to... Wow, that is way too big. But realistically, it's supposed to touch both the top and the bottom lids, but I don't follow that rule. Nobody follows that rule. You can if you want to, but like, I don't know. And then there's this. I don't know how big pupils are supposed to be. My God, why do people have such loud motorcycles? God. Sorry about that. I live right next to a highway, and my windows are open. 'Cause it's hot. Well, that's very nice. Anyway. That's your, pretty basic eye, which is what mine looks like. But there are a bunch of different ways. Before we move on to the other, like, structures of eyes, we add little tiny details. Like, people have bags under their eyes. I'm marking right now where the shading goes. there's gonna be shade right here, there's gonna be shade right here, there's gonna be shade right here, because this is where between your eyelid and your eyebrow, it kind of dips in right here, and it's really light right here. It's just a mess, honestly. It's a fucking mess. There's also a shade right here. Okay. You get out of here. Go. Leave. No. I said leave. Oh, don't leave that much. Okay, good. The other kinds of eyes. I'm still practicing this myself. I don't know exactly how qualified I am to give this kind of advice, because I'm not entirely sure how to draw East Asian eyes. Like, the typical form. I know there's, like, a billion, gazillion different shapes for eyes, no matter what your race is. But we're gonna try it anyway. So, we're trying on pretty much the same dealio, except more even. Like, it's a little bit harder to differentiate. Is the corner over here or over here? I don't know. Okay, I'm back. I'm not dead. Went to the hospital. They revived me. We're good. We're good. Where were we? Oh, yeah. And then the bottom eyelid is pretty much the same. Yeah, there we go. So, you know what? This could be completely wrong. Later I might come back and I'll be like, guys, I totally misled you. This is completely wrong. But the beautiful thing about art is that it's always changing and everyone is always improving. Even if you don't think you are, you definitely are. Right. And even though the corner of our eye could be either way, we're going to make it right here. Well, I add a little bit of downward corner here where it overlaps instead of, yeah. A tiny little bit of there. Okay. And then we're also going to put a little bit of overlap there where our water line comes in. Okay. And then here is where monolids are kind of hard for me because it's hard to convey without shading it. But I'll go ahead and put our eyebrow here. Nice. But monolids are where instead of having the two eyelid or the, you know, the crease right here, it's not there. It's just like one big thing. But you still, a lot of times you still have a little bit of eyelid fold peeking out right here. Maybe even right here. And then kind of hold it right there. I'm going to actually move this a little bit. I love the deform tool. Everybody should love the 3D deform tool. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then forget our iris kind of. And with these, since I think it's a better idea to go with the, you know, the rule where it touches both the top and bottom. Oh, I forgot about eyelashes. If you want to add eyelashes to these kind of eyes, it's better to make them do, like, come out from underneath. You know? Or maybe even point downward. Because people always think that eyelashes do this, which is wrong! Don't do that! Cut that shit out. Eyelashes do not, especially like this. Eyelashes don't do that. I mean, it could be a stylistic choice, but that's not what eyelashes do. Eyelashes go in every direction. So, like, don't have them all pointing this way. Definitely, okay, let's actually practice on this other eye. What I do is I start with the middle eyelash, goes like this, and I have one that points this way, and I have one that points this way, and then I start filling it in. Same thing without the bottom. See, they do not just all point this way. That is wrong! That's a different story if you're not facing an eye head on, but we'll talk about that later. Back to our little East Asian eye here. If you want to do eyelashes that point downward, just do exactly what it sounds like. People always forget that eyelashes can do a whole lot of stuff, including pointing downward. Like that. We're gonna add those later. Let's shade it. You know, let's just go for it. Let's shade it. Shade. Layer underneath it. Lower the opacity. Right here. Okay, this is just a regular color tool, by the way. Nope. Paper texture. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put a texture on it. I misled you. I see people a lot of times doing this. No. Wrong. Solid white is like... It's just not... People... Another thing with anime is that it makes everything so light. Like, you don't have any room for highlight. You just... What? The whites of my eyes, there's a word for it. I don't know what it is. Around right here. You have more freedom when you have darker skin, and it can be, like, down here. But not with this. Let's have some pretty dark brown eyes here. Actually, let's have even darker. There we go. I'm coloring to add the eyeliner. Okay. Simple color, not too shabby. Darken our eyebrows a little bit. Okay. I want to shade this one because I want to show you more about the monolid. Just like in the other one, there's kind of this little... It's saturated. There's this little dip right here. I don't know what else to call it. It's a little indentation. Little dent. Little thing. Chasm? A chasm in your eyeball? Yeah. And this also goes on the other side. Really want to emphasize how raised up this is. And I actually made this too white anyhow, so up the saturation, there we go. Because I didn't have room for the highlights, which are important when you're painting monolids. But we get our light color. That'll go right here. Because it's like a hill, you know? And then these parts will be shady, and these parts will be not shady. That was a really good explanation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not too good at explaining things. I'm funny. People say I'm funny. Am I clear? No. Am I concise? No. Am I having a good time? Yeah. Are you having a good time? I hope you're having a good time. Okay, so, there's that. And then, we'll deal with the bottom of the eye. Ugh. So that part will be like that. This part, I always, I always give a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it, a shelf underneath the waterline shelf? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain shit. I'm just like, put this color here, put that color there. I don't know. Okay, we got it. I usually give people kind of bags under their eyes because everybody's so gosh dang tired. And then the highlights come from the corner of the eye and just kind of go that way. It can also be right here. I need a different tool. This is a water tool. It's basically like acrylic, except it has more persistence. It's very persistent. It doesn't give up. I'll blend that. Nice. Alright. Not too shabby. We can also put a little bit of highlights right here. Now you can deal with the inside of the eye. Actually, first, let's clean this up a little bit, because it's a little bit too sketchy for my tastes. Okay, that's a little bit better. For this part, we're gonna get a new layer and do this. Then shade, or opacity. There we go. Nice. Oh boy. How has your day been? I don't want to hear all about your day. That sounds like fun. I hope you did something cool today. I hope you drew today. But when you shade eyes, I keep this little crisp line right here, but then blend it toward the edges of the eye, or like the corners. I just think it looks good. There's literally no reason behind it at all. None. There's absolutely none. And you can, like I did here, make it a little bit darker up towards the lid. And then if you want to, you can get some white and add it right here. Actually, you can do anything if you want to. I'm just telling you how. I'm going to go ahead and color this black so we can add highlights. Like I said before, it's cool to change things if you're drawing them. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Wow, shit. Turn my stabilizer on because I can't draw a straight line. You know, I hate it. I hate it when people are like, oh, I can't draw a straight line. Like, nobody can. That's what rulers are for. You know, like when they're talking about how well people can draw, like, oh, I can't draw a straight line. Or even better, I can't even draw a stick figure. Okay, cool. I don't care. I don't care. I feel so mean, but I don't care. Anyway, got our highlights right here. It's not really important to define exactly where your pupil is, especially if you have a really, really super dark eye like this. And the only things we really have left are the waterline and like the little speck of highlight. Here, we'll go ahead and do that. So about right here. In anime, I honestly think it's way too big. Like, you got your, woohoo! Wow, look at all that sparkle. No. Don't. Please don't. And it doesn't have to be completely round either. I like to make my highlights like right here, about where the little crisp line is. You can also put them right here. Or honestly anywhere except for right there. I wouldn't recommend it. Down here, it's cool. You can do like if they were in a photography room or photography studio. Here's what the lights they use look like. I like using that. I think it looks cool. You can also use like windows. I get it, Windows. I'm using Windows. I'm sorry if my Skype messages bother you. I don't check them while I'm doing speed paint usually. Like a window. Or the wall. So sweat drips down. We're not gonna do that. Okay. Nice. And then you can also put a tiny bit. This is different from this one. This is like reflection. I mean, this one is reflection, and this one is like the excess fluids that build up right around your lids. You can also put that at the bottom, which I actually advise more, but yeah, that's what it looks like. People ask me, how do you know where to put your highlights and junk? And I don't. I'm just kind of randomly putting things there. And it looks right. So people assume that I know exactly how light works, but I don't. I'm actually going to put these up here, because this is like kind of a big empty space. Like, that's my reasoning for stuff. It looks good. Oh. Okay, good. This is actually a little messy. I'll clean it up real quick. Okay, and our water lines, which we didn't do. This is a mistake. That's not how you do water lines. The way you do water lines is this part has to be darker than the water line. So even if like the entire white, you know, quote unquote, this isn't white, even if the white of your eyes, the entire thing isn't darker, you can put a little bit of shading right here. And then that leaves you open to just have your line, which doesn't require a whole lot of shading, except for I put a little bit of highlight right here. See, there you go. I'm gonna put a little bit more over here. There we go. Always need a little swoosh. Okay, and our eyelashes. We're not gonna worry about the eyebrows though. As much as I love eyebrows, we're not gonna worry about it. But like I said before, your little downward facing eyelashes. Eyelashes are like at the edge of the water line here. Okay, that's cute. I think it turned out pretty good. Oh, a little bit more. Okay, cute. Now I can work on the other one that looks like my eyeball. Get out of here. You come back. Ooh. Okay, now they're on separate layers. Shade. My skin type about right. Whatever. We'll fix it later. Here we go. So, like before, our color, or the whites are going to be not white. And this time we have these little markings to tell us where to put stuff. And our eyeliner. Eyebrow. Yeah. My eyes are brown, kind of like this person over here, but we'll make them green, because I like the color green, and we gotta learn how to work with colors, don't we? And this isn't completely circular. It's actually kind of an oval. It's a weird shape, but stylistic choice. Remember, kids, if you make a mistake, call it a stylistic choice. That's what Kiwi said to do. Alright. And so that we can go ahead and get our weird-ass lines out of the way, add a shade layer, and put this junk where we indicated. Put some right here too. And then okay. Pretty good. And then I'm gonna blend these out of here. Also, I kind of made it harder on myself because I kept the eyelashes in there, so I'm gonna have to get rid of those too. Yay! Okay, be right back just a second while I clean this up. Okay, I cleaned it up a little bit. Also messed around with the eyebrows. We have where our shading is, and like I had predicted, I'm gonna have to fuck around with the skin tone. I'll make that a little bit darker, a little bit brown. That's good. Don't be afraid of dark skin tones, because like, see, even all the way down here, because like when I first started drawing, I was used to being all the way up here for the same, you know, kind of character. Like, I would use this for my own skin tone when it was really this. So just don't be afraid. It's scary, I know. It's kind of intimidating. But you'll be really happy that you did it. But since we have our shadows, now we're going to have our highlights, which are up here, like I would have had my midtones in 7th grade. Which are right here, near the apex of the eyebrow, I guess. And also on the eyelids, which we actually have to deal with now. So we'll put a little bit of crease right here. Nice. For this, we'll put some highlights right here above the eyebrow, because this is all one big mound, but the eyebrow's in the way. So you could totally just like leave out the eyebrow and do it, and then add it afterward. My point is that the highlights carry all the way to the top. But this is kind of a shelf, so it's lighter on the top than on the bottom. And then we add highlight over here. Over here. Yeah, okay. I think we got it. And once again, we blend. I'll go ahead and get my acrylic so we can talk, you know, socialize. Be like, hey, what's up? I started a new blog recently for people's art improvements. It's called Art Improvements. It's art-improvements.tumblr.com. It is for, you know, people can submit their really old art and their newest art to show how they've improved. Because, you know, I think that's really inspiring. I think that's really cool. Because no matter how slow you think you're going, or even if you think you're not going at all, you definitely are. I swear to God you are. And you don't have to forget about your old art. Because, you know, you've improved. That's a good thing. You can always look back and even laugh and cringe at the stuff that you used to draw and think was good, because that just goes to show how much you've grown and how far you've come. Like, that's so cool. Sorry, I've been kind of leaving you out on what I'm doing here. I drag the highlights out more toward the, like, down here. That area, can you see? More down here, right here, rather than up here where the shadows go. I'm gonna define our crease a little more. Oh, I have another Skype message. Go away! Go away! I should really log off of Skype before I do this, but you know, I don't think that far ahead. I forgot about this thing. It's a different color. It's kind of... there we go. Sorry. It's noon, which, you know, being awake at noon, no way, not me. I'll also darken here like I did before, kind of underneath, because I got these really impressive bags under my eyes. It's not because I'm tired, which I am. It's because, you know, it's a hereditary thing. Just got really deep set eyes. Okay. And this part, which is kind of bulgy, but not that bulgy. Cool cat eye going on. Make sure to make the eyelids flare out. Okay. I think we're just about ready to move on to the inner parts of the eye. Let's go ahead and do that. Get rid of these weird lines. Make sure that's centered, because I have actually met people who have pupils that aren't centered, which is kind of neat, but, you know, most people aren't like that, so probably not a good idea to make all your characters have uncentered eyeballs. Plus, a lot of people think it looks weird. You know, there's just something a little bit off about the drawing. It's because your pupil's over here, but not the point. Good, darken this part. Okay, in this one you can see your top waterline, which only is visible when your eyes are very wide, or it's from like a bug's view perspective. In this case, it's wide eyes. Now go ahead and do our shady, like we did in the other one. I feel like I'm rushing this one a little bit more, sorry. It's not on purpose, that's just a thing that's happening. Okay. Pretty much did it. That's as good as it's gonna get for right now. Now we can work on the iris, which was a song. I'm gonna put my green over here because I don't want to lose it. We are gonna color this totally black, or very, very dark green. I always use the super dark colors, like black, but you can also use green. Ooh, that's way too big. Blend out with my water tool. And then add in my pupil. And then get my green. Oh. Okay. I'll get my green. Put it meanly down here. Especially around the bottom of the pupil. If you really, really wanted to get fancy with it, I don't know, like push down some shadows. If you really wanted to get fancy with it, you could get your British color. Draw a bunch of lines. And then either luminosity or overlay. I think overlay looks better. And then you can get some kind of completely unrelated color like orange and do these kinds of things. Why not? And overlay again. That looks neat. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I think it's actually a little bit... God dang it. That's what I meant to do. Be careful with your layers. I think my green is a little bit too dark. wanna get this and green. Okay. Neat. Neat. We're also missing the highlight thing. Or reflection. And that part. Okay. And again, we deal with our water lines, except we also have the top one to worry about this time. Why are you saying we? I'm the one who's doing it. You ain't doing jack shit. Actually, I'm sure you're doing a bunch, and I'm very proud of you. So use a lighter color. Not too shabby. A little bit shabby, but not too shabby. Just enough. Actually, a little bit too shabby. Okay, I thought there was a little bit too much going on up there. Nice. And our eyelashes. Wait, I forgot the highlight right here. Okay, now the eyelashes. Which, mine tend to not go down. They go up this side, and then this side, down, okay, then we can just add them. Also worth mentioning that they kind of do go different directions a little bit, like in a pod. They touch each other at the tops, and they get kind of tangly. Please make sure to curve your eyelashes. I hate seeing straight eyelashes. That bothers me so much. Nice. If you really, really want to make them look poofy, I guess, you could add another layer with this, and that junk. Shade. There we go. Oops. Okay. Now it looks very like I am both tired and glamorous, which describes me pretty well. I forgot that, speaking of being tired, I got the little pointer light in here because it's really slimy and gross. I don't know what that's called. I don't know, birds have it. I think I'm actually thinking about nostrils. That's a bird thing. Oh, gosh, diggity dang it. Okay. Well, you know, that's that. Thanks for sticking around with me. It's been an absolute blast. I had a lot of fun. Hope you had a lot of fun. In the next part, we're going to talk about noses, my freaking favorite. I don't know if I'm going to do it today. Sometime in this millennium, definitely. So, stay tuned. Let me know if there's any other tutorials that you would like to request. catfun.tumblr.com or not. People keep sending messages to catpun, like all one word, which is my friend. She is not me. We are not the same person. I'm cat-pun. So that's kind of unfortunate. But you don't need to have a Tumblr account to send anonymous messages. But tell me what you think. Detected that your computer performance is slow. No shit. But so thank you. Leave a comment. Bye.